Hello there, people. Cariboo Chilcoltin Critical thinkers, people. I'm here once again to discuss something that's been kind of bugging me, some kind of thing that doesn't make sense to me, and I wish someone would comment and tell me and explain it to me so it makes sense. Okay, what I'm talking about is the Pacific salmon, uh, out here in BC waters, rivers as well. But long story short, I'm just going to try to make this short and get to the point. Um, I keep on hearing studies about how the temperature of the water is rising and it'll continue on rising. And this is going to affect the egg hatching and the development of the fish. Actually, it's affecting a lot of things, insect larvae, everything, whole pile of things, long, huge chain reaction, right? Uh, the temperature change is affecting the development and hatching of these eggs and the timing of everything, just throwing it all off out of whack and stuff, right? They basically can't take it. And according to the scientists, global warming, the temperature of the water will continue to increase, as well as sea level rising and stuff like that, right? And this is and we're not even talking about all the pollutions and toxins and heavy metals and stuff that's in the ocean and the rivers and stuff, right? So I'm not even talking about that part, right? But it's interesting. I've heard reports. I used to hear it all the time in the '80s and the '90s. I don't seem to hear it so much. But nowadays. But I used to always hear reports about health officials telling people to don't eat no more than fish 3 times a week, especially if you're a pregnant woman or if you're a nursing lady or if you're an elder or you're someone who's like compromised immune system because of all the heavy metals and toxins in the fish, and it collects in the fatty tissues and stuff, right, and the oils, and so if you're pregnant, it'll affect the fetus's eye brain development. There's all sorts of reports on that, and also the breast milk of the nursing mother. They even told Inuit women not to breastfeed. I mean, not to eat so much fish because it'll affect the milk and stuff. But I don't seem to hear that no more, even though I've heard separate reports about how there's more pollutions in the water and stuff, right? And so I'm always thinking of these things. Okay, so that's affecting the fish in itself, and but the rising temperature is also affecting the salmon. And I keep on hearing a separate report. You don't hear all these reports all together. You always hear them in this part here, this part here, and this part here. But you don't seem to hear them holistically. Um, but orca whales, killer whales, and other animals that eats the Pacific salmon, they're starving. They're just like the polar bears because of the icebergs are melting. They can't go and hunt seals like they used to and stuff. And so the polar bears are starving. So the orca are starving because there's just not enough fish to go around, I guess. That's what they're alluding to, because they're just not eating like salmon was their main food source, or one of them. But there's just not enough salmon around, Pacific salmon. And so I heard because of the temperature changes of the ocean, different currents are coming in from other areas, bringing in entirely different fishes and stuff from other areas, even tropical fishes, and sharks that don't normally show up are showing up, and other, and even Atlantic salmon. Right, I'm not talking about the ones that escaped from that fish farm, which, by the way, I believe sea-based fish farms should be banned because the ocean is so full of toxins and pollutions, uh, which also attract parasites. And then when they get into a fish farm in the ocean, they collect even more, so it makes an already bad problem worse. And it's stupid to have sea-based fish farms. It makes zero sense. Although land-based fish farms they say, I did the research, Google it yourself, look at the YouTube channel there about land-based fish farms. Zero pollution, healthy fish, zero pollution, zero toxins. The meat is healthy, no viruses, no metals and stuff like heavy metals and nothing like that. And it's a win-win solution. You even save the salmon, the Pacific salmon, because it could be in a fish farm on land, and we don't have to worry about all the pollutants in the ocean and the temperature rises because we can regulate the temperatures on the fish farm. So that should be a big thing. But yeah, I hear nothing of it. Everyone's arguing about the fish farms in the ocean. Let's keep it there. Makes no sense. Why are they arguing? It should be no argument. Put it on land. So, anyways, everyone's freaking out when I suggested that. Well, we just get the Atlantic salmon and crossbreed it with the Pacific salmon because the Atlantic salmon has a stronger immune system, is more tougher, grows faster, and it's basically a subspecies. It's the cousin of the. It's not. They like to say separate species. It's like saying a mule deer is a separate species from a white-tailed deer. They're basically the same deer, right? Just different race, if you will. But we only use race for humans, apparently, right? But in animals, they call it breeds or subspecies and shit like that. Bullshit terms, right? But at any rate, well, it's complicated. But I thought that, you just mix crossbreed them, and then we have a strong, we could save, they'll grow, and there'll be plenty of fish for the orcas to eat, then maybe, but like the temperature's going to continue to rise. Like, I don't know what's going to be like in 200. They are saying that it's actually going to rise faster than they previously predicted. So I don't know what's going to be like within 100 years if it continues rising. Is there going to be, is there still going to be Pacific salmon? Never mind Atlantic salmon. I don't know how much more they can take. If it gets more like warmer waters and stuff, and the water rising, they're going to have to go to land-based fish farms in order to save the salmon. Things are going to get tough, and people are only living in the now. They only care about the next 10 years, and not even that, the next 5 years. Actually, the next payday, right? So people don't think in these big terms, but we have to start thinking of these things, and the other thing I keep on hearing on the news about all these plastics in the ocean, and there's tons of it, and it's an issue. Some animals seem to be able to eat it with no ill effect, and then maybe even thrive on certain species, but other ones not so much. And it's garbage. It's ugly, anyways. Why we shouldn't do that. Especially all these seabirds getting tangled up and choking on the stuff, and whales confusing a plastic bag, thinking, "Oh, it's a jellyfish, I can eat it," and he chokes on it and stuff. And that's no good. We can't be doing stuff like that. But the good news is that there's all these mega companies that are investing lots of dollars, and they got underwater drones, and they're gonna clean it all up. They're uniting all through. There's, I think there's 7 major rivers. I can't remember that lead to the ocean, and a lot of it's coming from there as well. And so they're going to have all these the machineries and devices to clean up the plastic that enters through the rivers, and also have underwater drones and other types of devices to clean up all the plastic, and that's just with, I think it was 5 different companies. I can't remember now. I'd have to relook at it again. I posted on the Cariboo Chilcoltin Critical Thinker Society on Facebook if you want to look at